Welcome to episode 2 of how to become a robust human being in the modern age. Today I'm going to touch on the basic principles of nutrition. So I'm going to touch on 8 principles that you can implement today that are simple and easy. I just want to mention that it is not a diet. I am not offering you a diet, but I'm just giving guidelines that you can implement today. I'm just going to focus on 8 guidelines and you can start implementing them today. There are more, but I'm just going to stay with the 8 that I've chosen for today. Let's get into them. Okay, so I'm going to work around the theme that says eat real food, not too much, and mostly plants. And then I'm going to give you the principles that work around the theme. So the first principle is cut out added sugars into your meals. For a number of years in my life, each and everything that I had, I added sugar into it. So whether it had been whether it had been coffee, cereals, even though cereals themselves had sugar in them, I still added sugar. Tea, sugar. Mabelati, sugar. Porridge ya fru, ya papa, sugar in it. So try to cut out added sugars into your meals. Whether it's white sugar or brown sugar, try to cut it out of your meals. This is vitally important, especially if your goal is weight loss. So try to cut out the added sugars in your meals, in your drinks. In that way, if fat loss is your goal, you have a better chance of getting to that. Even if your goal is longevity and vitality, cutting added sugars is vitally key. And since I think the honey, the syrup are added sugars, so try to cut out those things into your meals. Number 2, sauces. Tamati sauce, beef sauce, or even things like salad dressings. Try not to have them in your meals. Look at the brain, they add these sauces on the steaks and so on. Try not to add any sauces. Even when you go to a restaurant, if they ask what kind of basting they should put on your meals, just keep it simple. Lemon and herb or salt and pepper. Salad dressings and all kinds of sauces, cut them out, because those things have oils in them that we do not want to consume, and others also have sugars in them that we do not want to consume. So number 2, cut out all kinds of sauces in your meals. Number 3, eat more plants. I usually go for things like cabbage, spinach, broccoli, Brussels, any green leaves. Any green leaves that you can get is key. I was listening to a podcast and Rhonda Patrick was on the podcast, and she said broccoli sprouts are a lot more better than the normal broccoli. So if you can get that, you are winning the game. So try to eat as many plants, especially the green ones, as possible. If you can, any type of vegetable is a winner, but with the greens you are always winning. And try to keep it simple and not add too many things to them, and buy them in their most original form that you can get them. What, and what, all these things. So make sure they're in their most original form. And if you can, get them while they're still fresh versus when they are frozen. Nothing wrong with the frozen ones from what I've seen. but I think it's much more better if you get them fresh. Number 4, water. Now, it is recommended that human beings, we should at least drink 3 liters of water per day, but this can vary from person to person, especially if you are somebody who works out a lot. You might need to take in more water versus somebody who does not work out at all. So if you can, 3 liters of water. If you're working out, let me change it. Arskari, if you can, you should be able to drink 3 liters of water a day. Basic principle. If you are somebody who is working out, spending a lot of time in the sun, you are most probably going to sweat more. And with that, it means you will have to drink more water. In the morning, I try to drink my water with a bit of salt, just for fluid balance, just to balance the fluids in the system. So 3 liters of water. If you are training, working out, especially in the sun, a bit more. Number 5, processed foods. Let's try to stay away from things like chips, pastas, breads, things that do not have parents. Things that they've been made by human beings. Your takeaways. Those are the things that are killing us as people, causing us to be obese. And what's not nice about processed foods is that you can't get enough of them. 1 leads to 10. Ask me if there's bread in the house or croissants in the house, I won't have one. No willpower in the world will stand against me eating those things. I'll end up eating 4. Little hot cross buns. If there are hot cross buns in our house and there are 6 of them, instead of having 2, I'll have the full tray. So rather not have them in the house. That's your best bet. It is really, really, really your best bet. So try not to have any processed stuff. That is why preparing our meals is so important, in making sure that we do not eat things that we do not know what's in them. Next time we go to restaurant dongwa, oil cheaper mula walwala. So stay away. Adding on to that, number 6. Prepare your own meals. That way you have better control of what's put into the meals. Like I just said, you get to stay away from oils and things that are put into our meals that are unnecessary. Plus, petrol you get to save money by preparing your own meals. Where you do not know what's in those meals. I know we are trying to support small businesses, but I would say 6 times in the week, try to have meals that are prepared from home. Make it a point. This is your body, this is your system, to make sure that those things are put in place. Number 7, respect your eating time. Be mindful of where you are eating and how you are eating. Respect your food. Causing a lot of problems. You are eating and driving at the same time. You don't give your body the opportunity to process the food. So, eat where there's a table, where you are sitting down, where you get to chew your food without any cell phones, no TV, no electronics, and you're just sitting down and you're eating and you are chewing your meals. This is something I'm still learning to eat slowly. And if you can, eat with friends and family. Our ancestors used to do that. Its food is much more enjoyable in that state. No, chilla, sit down, enjoy your meals. Fail. As simple as that. Number 8, I like protein, especially for longevity and for health purposes and maintaining and growing muscle mass. Eating enough protein is key. So make sure that you are consuming enough protein. Check out internet. There are a lot of ways to find out how much protein is good enough for you. Each person is different, so we will not be eating the same amount of protein. So check that out and then decide which sources will work for you. At the moment, I'm trying to stay away from red meat. Must say, it hasn't been going too well, but I'm trying. But if I'm not having red meat, I will have sources from fish. My protein source will be fish, nuts, things like nuts, eggs, chicken, salmon, fishing. So in Greek yogurt, if you want to, sometimes people don't have time. So whey protein is also a nice way to get more protein into your meals. I know there's chickpeas also that can also help with the protein intake. So make sure that you get enough protein into your meals. In closing, we are sold so many things on a day-to-day that we are told they are healthy for us, where in fact they are not. I had to learn this the hard way with cereals that I thought were healthy, where in matter of fact they've got too much sugar in them. Yeah, that's one of the Rice Krispies, with the Kellogg's, with the cornflakes, with the all bran, what, they've got a lot of sugar in them that is hidden, that we don't see. And that delays our weight loss, especially if you're trying to burn fat. It may not be good for you. So be careful of those things. Maybe sugar-free, those things, try to stay away from them. So let's look at those 8 principles again and leave you to your day. Number one, if you could remember, we spoke about cutting sugar, added sugar into our protein, cutting sauces from our meals, drinking enough, eating more plants. Okay. If you can remember where we started, I did say that the 8 principles are as simple as this: cutting the sugar out of our meals. Number 2, cutting the sauces, adding more vegetables, drinking more water, avoiding processed foods, avoiding processed foods, and preparing our own foods, which is key, and being mindful of where we eat and where we eat our meals. Number 8, getting enough protein into our meals. There are more principles to these, but decided to just to stay with these ones. I hope they were helpful to you. See you next time. Please, if you don't mind, subscribe and hit the notification button so that when the next episode comes out, which is number 3, you get to view it too.